Hey, Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding General Yohana. If it's not under Commanding General Yohana, it's not the truth. You understand? We've been bringing this out since 1969 that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible and our oppressor, who the world knows as the pilgrim, the colonizer, the Spaniard. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? This law class, man, I'm Officer Mutazabah. We got Officer Ramak here. You see what I'm saying? Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Officer Gana. He just had his baby boy today, a couple hours ago. We're gonna give it up for the brother. The Lord is still with Israel. You see what I'm saying? A lot of nations can't produce, ain't producing children. You see what I'm saying? But Israel, we still producing. And bringing these soldiers back. You see what I'm saying? So we got to understand, man, like this law class is very important. Any questions in the class? Anybody got any questions, any comments, anything you want to add? Anything anybody been reading? Good. All right, so we're going to get into, pretty much like how the laws of the Bible make us a wise people. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times, like I always say, when you look at wisdom, when you look at laws, a lot of times as Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the term law, when we start hearing follow the law and be under the law and things of that nature, is really a negative connotation to us. You see what I'm saying? Because the law has been used against us so much. You see what I'm saying? Like they pass laws that's going to oppress us. They pass laws that keep us in horrific conditions. You see what I'm saying? And we know that. So a lot of times when you hear, we saying that we got to keep laws, statutes, and commandments, it's kind of like you off the rip saying I can't do that. Because we've been programmed to think that we can't follow rules because we know that the rules that we've been told to follow has never been good for us. The rules that we've been told to keep has never been rules that actually help us grow, help us succeed. You see what I'm saying? When you start talking about the Lord, man, the Lord, he has laws specifically for Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that apply only to us. You see what I'm saying? And that's those laws are what's going to make us wise. It's going to make us a great people. And we're going to get into that today. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5, Baba Kasha.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
The Lord said, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. You see what I'm saying? Right now, he's talking to Israel. He's talking directly to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord saying, I have taught you laws. I've taught you statutes. I've taught you judgments. What does that mean? When the Lord say that, the Lord say he's taught you laws, he's taught you laws, he's taught you statutes, and he's taught you judgments. Well,
how to live.
God taught us how to live.
Rules to govern our life for the better. This society got to follow wicked rules. That's why, like you said, we follow these rules knowing they don't benefit us in any type of way.
Come.
And when we go against the system, we gotta be looked at as the horrific people, the problem in society. When this society was never set up for speed with any rules or any laws that they have set the government.
Come. And that's not saying what you're saying is heavy, because here's the thing: we're not saying we shouldn't follow no rules, the rules of the land. Like the scriptures tell you, follow the law of the land. However, it's been a lot of laws, there's been a lot of bills, there's been a lot of things passed to keep us in oppression. You see what I'm saying? So when the Lord read that from the top,
behold, I have taught you statutes. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
It say, I have taught you statutes and judgment. The Lord is saying, I've taught you directly. You see what I'm saying? If you Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you may say, how is that possible? Here it is. We made a covenant with the Lord. Our ancestors, our forefathers, and our foremothers, we made a covenant with the Lord, man. to keep his law, statutes, and commandments. And the way it used to work is something called oral history. It used to get passed down. Your grandparents, your great grandparents would tell your grandparents would tell your parents would teach you, so forth and so on. You see what I'm saying? You would teach your kids these things. We lost that. You see what I'm saying? And because we lost that, that's how we lost our way. Keep going.
Even as the Lord, my God commanded me, that ye shall do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Right here saying, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. What is this saying? Anybody want to take a shot at what this is saying? Go over, Mark.
You're supposed to keep the Most High laws and statutes no matter where you are.
That's right. Because you'll hear a lot of people saying we can't keep God's commandments. We can't keep the laws. We're not in our land. You see what I'm saying? You hear a lot of brothers saying that, a lot of sisters saying that. All they are excuses not to keep the law, the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. This scripture is telling us that you should do so in the land whether you go to possess it. You see what I'm saying? Like the Lord is saying, no matter where you're at. You see what I'm saying? If you live in a house right now, let's say you're a young man, you feel me? Let's say you're a young lady and you live with your parents, and your parents celebrate Christmas. They celebrate Thanksgiving. They eat pork. You see what I'm saying? On Saturdays, they go and get them crab boils. You see what I'm saying? What it's saying is, even though, let's say you got a room. Damn, a room. Say you just got a bed in that house. You see what I'm saying? Inside, when you in that bed, that's your area. You serve the Lord from that bed. You see what I'm saying? If you got a room, you serve the Lord from that room. That means that there's no excuse for us not to follow God's law. We can't use the excuse that we don't, we're not in our land, so therefore we can't keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. No matter where we're at, the Lord is expecting us to keep these law, statutes, and commandments, man. Keep going.
Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom.
For this is your what?
For this is your wisdom.
For blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is your what?
Your wisdom.
This is your wisdom, man. Like, this is your wisdom. Like, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, despite it being a law that the Most High told us to do, this is actually what gives us wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, you see a lot of people, they going to colleges, they furthering their education, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. But a lot of people who do that, they put their stock into those things, you feel me? And they feel like that's what make them wise. They think that by going to an African American studies class, that now they're wise. You see what I'm saying? That's not the truth. What makes blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans wise is keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? That's where our wisdom lies. Why does that make us wise? How does that make us wise? Also, how do you think that? While he's answering, Evan, I need you to think. How does keeping God's laws, the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments? How does us observing and keeping those laws? How does that make us wise? How is that our wisdom as a people? Speak up for me. Yeah, true. So I know y'all couldn't hear the young brother said, like, what it does is it helps us make helps us make better decisions, in your day-to-day life. You see what I'm saying? Which is true. Like, see what I'm saying? Like when you like, and this is for the young kids that's in school too. Like when you're a young child, you see what I'm saying? Like we got two 12-year-olds in here. We got a 12-year-old boy, we got a 12-year-old girl in here. You see what I'm saying? These laws apply to them too. Why does these laws apply to them? Because that's who the world wants. The world wants them. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times them going to these schools out here is nothing more than going to prison. It's the same thing as going to prison. A lot of these schools, you see what I'm saying? You gotta duck and dodge different fights. You see what I'm saying? You gotta stay out of gossip. You gotta stay out of all this drama. You see what I'm saying? Like, and what they do in a lot of these schools, what they're doing right now is they're conditioning your kids. They're conditioning these kids to go against God. You see what I'm saying? Like that's why keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, this is our wisdom, because even as 12-year-olds, they can go to school and realize when they serve you pork in the cafeteria, you can't eat it. You see what I'm saying? When they say we're gonna pledge allegiance to this flag, we know that that's a sin against the Lord. You see what I'm saying? That we not going to stand and put our hand across our chest and pledge allegiance to this country and that flag. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the wisdom. Keep going for me.
In your understanding, in the sight of all this life, in your understanding.
So, like, read it from the top. Take verse 6 from the top, Baba Kashaw.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep that forth and do these duties. Keep that forth and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
And say, this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, us as a whole, these other nations are watching us. How do you know that these other nations are watching us? This is how they know where they're going to set their business up. This is how they know how they're going to market certain things to us. This is how they, like, if you look at these other nations out here, when I say other nation, these other races of people, if you look at other races of people, everything that we do, they copy. You see what I'm saying? Have y'all seen it? I'm talking to the 12-year-olds in the class. I'm talking to the people online. Have you seen that other races of people copy everything that we do? Have y'all seen that in the school system? What have you seen? You see white people with braids. Yeah, they watch everything we do. You see anything in your school ever? You see other races of people watching black people, and next thing you know, they trying to imitate us. They trying to be like us. Have you seen it at all? The hairstyles? Yeah, that's one of them. The hairstyles, all of those things. You see what I'm saying? Like, what happens is, they say this is our wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nation. These other nations are watching us, right? When we do not keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, what happened is they look at us like, man, they crazy. They look at us and they don't respect us. They look at us as a people who is needy. They look at us as the people who are unintelligent. They look at us like a lick. Y'all know what a lick is? Y'all know what a lick is? A lick is somebody that you can come up off of. You see what I'm saying? So a lick is somebody that's gullible, that's exposed, that you can do something to get what you want off of them. You see what I'm saying? That's how they look at us as a people. Read that scripture one more time from the top, Baba Kashaw.
Keep that forth and do them. For these things, keep that forth and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of these nations, in the sight of the nations. It
said this is your wisdom and understanding in the sights of the nations. You see what I'm saying? Like, what happens is when we keep our laws, statutes, and commandments, when these other nations see it, they look at us and say, man, these people, they smart. Because you got to remember, the things that they're doing in our communities, they're doing it based off of us being unintelligent and based off of us living and trying to please them. You see what I'm saying? So as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when we say, you know what? Listen, I know that Asian on that corner store, man, we're going to go to the mom and pop shop. We ain't supporting this. You see what I'm saying? I ain't eating that spam that they got in that store, that brown swagger. If you from the hood, everybody know what brown swagger is. You see what I'm saying? That's that nasty lunch meat that they serve in the corner stores. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, when we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you don't seek to be their friends. You don't seek their love. You see what I'm saying? What you seek is the love of your people. You don't seek the love of all these other nations. And you know what? You know the funny part about this is, in our mind, we think that us seeking love and seeking peace with them, we think that that's going to soften their heart. We think that that's going to condition them to love us more, right? When in actuality, it makes them hate us more. Go, you got something?
Just to piggyback off these, like once a group of people beg to be accepted, they never be. Like you gotta earn your respect in this world. Like not just handing out. So us looking for a handout or looking to appeal to like some type of moral compass that these other nations have never had.
Go, and
the Bible was. The beast they are.
That's right. They're beasts. Like, the Bible likened them to beasts. You see what I'm saying? The beast is going to act off his natural instinct, and that's to devour. You see what I'm saying? And when we don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we become food to be devoured. But when we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, here in Isupk, we're going to serve the Lord, man. We're going to serve the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And we're going to tell the truth on these other nations. We're going to expose the crimes that these other nations have done to us. You know what? And what happens is they can say that they don't like the Isupk, but guess what? They're going to respect us. You see what I'm saying? Because they realize the wisdom in everything that we teach. They realize the wisdom in the brothers and the sisters in the UPK. You know why? Because we when we keep these laws, them laws make us wise, man. You see what I'm saying? Like when we can actually have a law that say, I ain't got to know this brother over here. But if his woman ever came to me and she tried to come at me, you see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna talk to her. That's wisdom right there. That's wisdom right there. Because you know what? They'll use a woman to set you up. That's what y'all gotta realize. They'll use a woman to set you up quick. They use a woman to turn you against your God. You see what I'm saying? But when you say, you know what, I ain't gonna deal with that woman. She got a man. I ain't gonna deal with that woman because she's not of my nation. She's not of my race of people. When you say those things and when you mean those things, guess what? They can't use those tactics against us no more. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Which shall hear all these things and say, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people.
That's what they're gonna say. That's what they're going to say. When they see us keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, that's what they're going to say. They're going to say, surely this race of people, when you see the term, when you see nation, is race. They say, surely this race of people, they are a wise and understanding people. You see what I'm saying? They recognize. Like, here's the thing. They may not like the Isupk, but they're going to have to respect us. And they know that we're wise. You know why? Because we don't deal with them. We know what their intentions are. You see what I'm saying? Whenever you allow yourself to be, whenever you're beguiled by certain people, whenever you're beguiled, and tricked, you see what I'm saying? Over and over and over and over. At some point in time, you got to wisen up and you got to say, you know what? I'm not going to fall for that no more. And in Isupk, we made that decision. I'm not going to fall for that no more. And because we don't fall for that, now these other nations say, man, this is a wise and understanding people right here. You see what I'm saying? And that understanding and that wisdom only comes from keeping God's the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Keep going.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great who has God, who has the Most High, so nigh unto them?
That's what these other nations are going to say. It say, for what so nation or whatever, for what so race is there so great that have God so nigh unto them? What does that mean? Hold on. Let one of them answer. Let one of them answer real quick. When they say, for what nation is there so great who have God so nigh unto them? What does nigh mean? If you don't know something, what should you do? There you go. It's okay to look things up. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Remark, what you had?
I was for say like you said, keeping our laws and statutes, following Most High is that wisdom. It's crazy how, like you just mentioned, how these other nations copy off us, and that's at the lowest state.
Yeah.
At a lowest state. Just imagine that a whole nation came together following the Most High.
Yeah.
These nations would try to imitate our black riches.
Yeah.
I mean, which they can never imitate, of course. Like, it's crazy, like how much they hate us, but they want to imitate us.
Right.
Even at a lower state.
And that's why it's so important for us to keep these commandments. That's why they asked the question, you know, for what nation, for what race of people is so great and have God so nigh to them. Nigh means close. You see what I'm saying? Close, that means like they say, for what nation is there so great who have God so close unto them? You see what I'm saying? Keep going. It says as the most as the
Most High, as the Lord our God, as the Lord our God, it is in all things that we can call upon Him for.
Yeah, like the Most High, like it's a scripture to say that when you keep my law, statutes, and commandments, your enemies shall be my enemies, your adversary shall be my adversary. You see what I'm saying? The Most High, he had a nickname from these other nations in the Bible. One of his nicknames was the Terrible. You see what I'm saying? His nickname was the Terrible because back then, when we was a nation and we knew who we were keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, what they knew is, what another nation knew, that is, if you touch blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, if you do anything unto them, you do anything wicked towards them, their God is going to punish you. You see what I'm saying? Their God will punish you. And the Most High the Most High that unalive a lot of people in a lot of different nations because of what they've done to Israel. And guess what? He's going to do even more. He's going to do even more. You see what I'm saying? This is how close the Most High is going to be to us as a nation once we start keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. That's why it's so important for us to do so. It's so important for us to come out this Christian church, man, and come out that false doctrine of thinking that we ain't got no laws when the very law that we're supposed to be keeping bring us the wisdom that we need to survive this hellhole, man. Any more on that? Keep going.
And what nation is that so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all the so righteous as all this law which I have set before you this day?
Yeah, like our law, statutes, and commandments is righteous, man. Like you look at the laws that we have in this nation, you see what I'm saying? These laws are meant to oppress people. You see what I'm saying? The Most High's laws, listen, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're going to be on top. But even still, these other nations, they're going to have to say, listen, y'all have righteous laws. You see what I'm saying? We don't have laws that, you know, just that the Most High just pulled out of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Just because. Like these other nations, here's the thing. Like if you look at the society we live in today, if you look at the earth that we're in, there's nothing but wars, rumors of wars. It's nothing but turmoil. It's nothing but, you know, a lot of kidnapping going on, a lot of unaliving going on. That's not going to be the case when we're in rule, when we're in power. You see what I'm saying? So when we're in power, though these other nations are going to have to answer to us, it'll still be a better life than what these other nations live now. You see what I'm saying? Because these laws, statutes, and commandments are righteous, man. And this is why it's so important for us to keep them, because this is truly where our wisdom comes from. Drop that. Let me get Amos 3:1, Bubba Kashaw. We got Officer Ganan in the chat. Shalom out. We got Sister Rawah. She checking in. Hey, shalom, sis. You got that?
Oh, no, I'm gonna call it.
Go ahead.
Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
They say, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. Again, he's talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
Against the whole family which I have brought up from Egypt, from the land of Egypt, saying.
Yeah, this is how you know he only talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We the only ones that he freed from the land of Egypt. You understand? Like when Moses came through and he empowered Moses, we came through that Red Sea. That was blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is who the Lord is talking to. Go ahead.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
They say, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. You understand? How many families on the earth is it? When I say families, how many different races are there on this planet? Or how many families are there on this planet?
17.
Close. Well, want to take a guess? Can't Google this one. It's 18 families. It's 18 different families on the face of this earth. Read that from the top, Bubba Kashaw.
Amos, chapter 3, verse 1.
No. Read verse 2, Bubba Kashaw.
Amos chapter 3, verse 2. Only have I known of all the families of the earth.
It say, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. There's 18 families on the face of this earth. The Most High is saying, I've only known blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? That's heavy. Because what the Lord is saying is, I've only known you. And because I've only known you, you're the one with the wisdom. Like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got to realize we're supposed to have the most wisdom on the face of this earth. There should not be a race of people that's more wiser than us. You see what I'm saying? Because the Lord only known us. Keep going.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
The Lord said, that's why I will punish you for all your iniquities. And this is the main reason why when we do something, we get caught. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know I've talked to my son about it. I don't know if you've ever experienced it in school, but we say it a lot. We say it a lot. And I'm going to use it from the context of school. The whole class can be doing something. The whole class can be up. They could be running their mouth. They could be running through the hallways. They can be doing anything that they want to do. And the teacher don't say nothing to them. But as soon as you say something, as soon as you open your mouth, you ask for a pencil. Why are you talking? Why are you talking? I'm going to have to call your phone. You see what I'm saying? You looking like, dang, like, you see all this going on around me? All this going on around me. And when I open my mouth, I get in trouble. Y'all experience that, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we experience that a lot. You see what I'm saying? Read that again, Bubba Kashaw.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
This is why right here. This is why right here. When everybody else is doing something that they ain't supposed to do and they don't get in trouble, but yet and still, as soon as you do something, you may know you ain't supposed to do that. When you do it, you get in trouble. This is why. You see what I'm saying? It ain't because that person, it ain't because no one's picking on you. It's because the Lord has known you of all the families of this earth. You see what I'm saying? It's because the Lord has known you, which means the Lord has taught you. You know the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you're a kid in the UPK, you know right from wrong. You see what I'm saying? Despite what's going on around you, you know what you should and what you should not be doing. If you're a child in the UPK, that's an absolute must that you're going to learn, and you're going to know how to follow directions. So when you step out the gate because you want to fit in, when you step out the gate because other people are doing it, just realize you are going to be the one to get in trouble. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be the one to get the phone call home. Why? Because the Lord knows you. You see what I'm saying? Because the Lord knows you. You see what I'm saying? And that's the truth of the matter. And this is why you'll look at it. You look at black people in a whole. When black people commit crimes, we go to jail. You see what I'm saying? The police come and take us to jail. These other nations, they can do everything under the sun. It seems like they're going to get away with it because they're getting away with it right now. They won't get away with it in the end, but it appears that they're getting away. Like them children that's running through the hallways and stuff like that, though it may seem like they're getting away with it because no one's saying nothing to them. No one's calling their parents. They are going to get the penalty for what they're doing. They're going to have to pay it. It may not be right away, but they will pay a penalty for that. You see what I'm saying? They will get punished for that. And this is what the Lord is saying, man. Any more on that? Drop that. Let me get 1 Peter 2:9, Bubba Kasha. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
It say, but ye are a chosen generation. Go ahead.
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood. Go ahead.
And a holy nation.
A holy nation. It's saying blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're a chosen generation. Like the Most High actually chose us, man. You see what I'm saying? The Most High could have chose any people that he wanted to choose, but he chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be his people, man. Then they say a royal priesthood. This is what every young boy, every black, Hispanic, and Native American boy should be striving to be, a priest. You see what I'm saying? A priest unto the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a royal priesthood, a holy nation. We are a separate people, man. Like we are a separate people. We're not like nobody else. We don't do the things that other people do. Our culture ain't like everybody else's culture. You see what I'm saying? Like we got to realize, like we think that we're all the same because that's what school, that's what the Christian church teaches, right? That we all got red blood and we're all the same. That's what they teach us. Do you know that we got a culture of ours? You feel me? That bathing is our culture. You know that, right? You know how like when you go home at night, you done had a long day, you done went to school, you done came from work. You see what I'm saying? And you go and you hit that shower, you bathe yourself. That's our culture. Do you know that other cultures, that's not their culture? Do you know that? It's not everybody's culture to bathe and wash up. Go ahead, Mark.
I was just talking about that this morning. Also, I ain't doing any weed in the house and have my house. Every time I walk in there, it smells like the hippo house at the zoo.
Yeah.
I've never been at the zoo. That is a pleasant smell. Like every single time, no matter what, and in the evening house I walk in, it's a stench.
Yeah.
They haven't bathed in years. Like,
And that's what it is because it's not their culture. You see what I'm saying? Like if you look at the so-called white man, a lot of times he only bathe when he sweat. You see, he don't sweat. He ain't bathing every day. You see what I'm saying? But this is our culture. This is what the Lord told us to do. The Lord said, you are a separate people. Do you know his laws in the Bible to wash your hand when you use the bathroom? That's our culture. That's black culture. You go in the bathroom and use the bathroom, you wash your hands. You see what I'm saying? We've all been in a public bathroom and we'll see people walk right past us and don't wash their hands. We've seen it. That's their culture. You see what I'm saying? Like the Lord say, you are a holy people, a holy nation. That means that we're separate from everybody else. You know them delicacies that they call themselves eating? They eating shrimp, they eating the clam and all that kind of stuff. They cracking open the crab, the lobsters, they doing all those things. That's actually disgusting. The Lord told us not to touch those things, not to eat those things, man. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not something that we eat. This is why the Lord, this is the reason the Lord said, if you a black boy, you see what I'm saying? You turn into a man, Don't go chasing after these women in these other nations. You know, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native American little girls, don't go chasing at these other after these men of these other nations, because they're going to take you from your God. They're going to take you from your God, and you're going to be doing things that you wasn't raised to do. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not your culture, and you're going to start serving false gods. The Lord say we are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Keep going.
A peculiar people.
They say a peculiar people. Who knows what peculiar mean? What does peculiar mean? I know y'all have heard it before. What should you do if you don't know? If you don't know what something means, what should you do? Look it up. You see what I'm saying? Most High say you are a peculiar people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are peculiar. You want to take a shot at heaven? What does peculiar mean? Strange or odd. That's exactly what it means. You see what I'm saying? We're strange. We're odd to everybody else in this world. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people, like, the things that we do is considered strange or considered odd. The way we serve our God is considered strange. It's considered odd. The culture that we have, the laws that we have is strange and odd. Why is that? Go ahead.
Because it's unusual. Like nobody on this earth tried to tackle and the belief and turn itself like we turn ourselves.
But why is that?
Through the Most High law, statutes, and commandments.
God.
Make us a better people. Make us better than every nation walking the earth.
His laws make us peculiar. You see what I'm saying? His laws make us peculiar. His statutes make us peculiar. The Most High's culture makes us peculiar. It makes us strange or odd from everybody else on the face of this earth. You see what I'm saying? The things that we do, these other nations, they can't fathom, they can't understand why we do them. You see what I'm saying? You ever been in a situation where you're around people and it's like you doing certain things and you know why you're doing it, but they can't figure you out. And why this brother, why he act like that? Why he do that? You're considered peculiar. Something a little different about him. That's what they say. You're a little, you know what they say now. He's weird. She's weird. You feel me? You'll be considered and counted as weird when you serve the Lord. You feel me? If you're not considered strange or weird or odd, you feel me? That means you're too into this world, man. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to be strange. It's okay to be peculiar because the things that we do, the culture that we have is unlike no other. You got to remember, we were the ones given this law, not no one else. So those laws alone is going to give us the wisdom, but it's also going to have us looked at as peculiar. It's an okay thing. Keep going.
That ye should stoop for the praises of him who had called you out of the darkness into the marvelous light. Yeah,
that's why, you know, they say that you should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness into this marvelous light. It's a marvelous thing to keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, man. It's an honorable thing to keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. And that's why we got to show praises to him, to the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Because the Most High could have chosen any manner of people to do his work, man. But yet and still, he chose Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He called us from a darkness. He called us. If you come into this truth, man, you come from a life of crime. You come from a life of doing what you wanted to do. You come from a life of adultery, getting high, being gangbangers, being killers. You know, we come from all of that. You see what I'm saying? This is a marvelous light that we've come into. We've come out of that darkness. You feel me? And this is the beauty of the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, man. It offers and provides the wisdom that we're going to need to change our lives. And that's what's important about that. You see what I'm saying? If you could drop that, let me get 1 John 5 and 3.
Right, so
Yeah, you can go take.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of the Most High.
And say, for this is the love of the Most High. This is the love of God. You feel me? But this is the love of God. The Most High right now is about to tell us something. He's going to show us something. He's going to show us, like, you know how you always hear people say, you know, they got their own personal relationship with the Most High. They got their own personal relationship with Jesus. You see what I'm saying? Your interpretation is your interpretation. How I look at the Bible ain't how you look at the Bible. Who says who's right? A lot of people going to say, how many times you see people say, I love God, right? They doing that off opinion. They doing that off of how they feel. The Lord is about to tell you how you need to love him. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments.
That we feel it in our chest.
That we keep his commandments.
That we got a personal relationship.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what makes us feel good.
That we keep his commandments.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, man. This is how we show the Most High that you keep his that you love him. You see what I'm saying? For you kids in here, you know, if you kids watching, how do you show your parent that you love them? You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, kids get it confused. They think just because you're the parent that they can do what they want to do, and you have to love them. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, and then when they get told no, it makes them feel like, oh, my father, my mother don't love me. You see what I'm saying? Right now, the Most High is telling us how he wants to be loved. You see what I'm saying? This is the same way a parent wants to be loved. Do I want you to feel all mushy inside and stuff like that? Is that what love is? Is that what love is, Austin? Is showing love, is that a feeling? That warm feeling, ain't that what they say? That warm feeling in your heart. Is that how you show love? How you show love? By doing what you're being told to do. That's right. Damn the feeling. Damn your feelings. You see what I'm saying? You know, because 1 minute you can love your parent. The next minute, y'all know. The next minute, y'all can have so much disdain for your parent. You're mumbling under the breath. You see what I'm saying? You feel like your parent's so hard on you. You see what I'm saying? Like, you may not like your parent today. You may love them tomorrow. In 2 days from now, you're going to hate them again. That's not love. That's not love. You feel me? Love is actually doing what your parent told you to do. Go ahead.
Piggyback off of what you saying, the rules that we set in the household are for the safety. That's the love. That proves the parent love.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the parent didn't love the child, he won't see out in the world and let you be without it. Knowing the world one of the values you and take advantage of every level.
Right.
So we put these laws and these conditions on our kids to protect them and teach them to be safe.
That's right. And as a parent, if we can understand it on a parental level, just know what just imagine what God feels and what God can do for us. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is how the Lord is telling us how to love him, is by keeping his commandments. That means do what I tell you to do. Don't do what you feel. Don't do what you think that you want to do. Do exactly what I tell you to do. How many parents have said that to their kids? You see what I'm saying? Do what I tell you to do, not what you want to do. This is how you show your parent that you love them. Go ahead.
Another thing, like these women in Christian churches, they're telling their husbands, their boyfriend, whatever they want to call them, you don't know how to love me. This is how you love me. But the whole time, they know what the Most High says. They expect it from their spouses. They expect to be loved the way they desire to be loved.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Most High, I feel I love him like he's supposed to be loved, and not like he's telling me like he's supposed to be loved.
Yeah. And what you bring out is heavy, because a lot of sisters out here, a lot of sisters really don't know what love is. You see what I'm saying? A lot of sisters, a lot of men don't even. You know, I ain't gonna single the sisters out, but we talk about sisters right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, you ask, you know, I don't know where this came from, but a lot of sisters, they so indulged in love languages. If you're a brother, you done heard a sister talk about a love language. You saying, this is my love language. This is how I communicate love. You see what I'm saying? And on all of those love languages, none of them says obedience. You see what I'm saying? None of them says obedience. Sister, that should be your love language, to be obedient. You see what I'm saying? Your love language should be to receive rules, to receive laws, and learn how to follow them. That's how you show a man you love him, by listening to what he tell you to do. The Most High just told us, if you want to show me that you love me, keep my commandments. Who's the head of the man? Who's the head of who's the man? Who's the head of a man? Yeah. In particular. Mm-hmm. No. You use on point, but when you say God, who you talking about? Christ. Christ is the head of man. You see what I'm saying? Christ is our king. You see what I'm saying? Say Christ, say the Most High is the head of Christ, and Christ is the head of man, and man is the head of who? Who's man the head of? Who is the man the head of? The woman. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High, he requires Christ to be obedient to his word, right? Do not Christ require us men to be obedient to him? So if we can get in line, if as a man we have to be obedient to somebody, how is it that a woman don't have to be obedient to a man? I got news for you. You do. You have to be obedient. You see what I'm saying? Most High is telling you, keep my law, statutes, and commandments. That's how you tell me that you love me. Any more on that?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not grievous, meaning his commandments are not hard. You see what I'm saying? To keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments is not a hard thing to do. You see what I'm saying? Not keeping the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, now that's grievous. You know, y'all ever see anybody with gout? Y'all know what gout is? Gout is like an inflammation of the foot, where it hurts and it burns. You know, from what I've heard explained, it's like you walking on needles. You walking on nails all day long. Your foot is that inflamed. You see what I'm saying? That is grievous. That's a hard life. And you know where most of it come from? Eating shellfish, eating that crab and that lobster, that snail and them clams. The Lord told us not to do those things, man. High blood pressure, where'd that come from? I know we're the same people with high blood pressure. Get dizzy, head spinning, headaches all day long. Where does that come from?
Like you said, it's eating, going against the Most High. Like,
They come. It definitely comes from going against the Most High. But if you look at it, a lot of people who eat that swine eat that pork. That pork is very salty. Yeah, parasites and all that. You see what I'm saying? A lot of high blood pressure come from that. Doing what the Most High told us not to do. You see what I'm saying? That's grievous. What's grievous is you messing with another man's wife, and when that man find out, now you got to look over your back because he ready to blow your brains out. That's a grievous life. You see what I'm saying? The Lord say, just don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You know how many different things we can eat? The Lord say, don't sleep with that man's wife. You know how many different women that is out here? The Lord say, listen to your husband. How hard is it to listen to somebody? You know, as a woman, you know how I know a woman can listen? She gonna listen to that supervisor. He gonna give about 20, 30 projects at one time, and she's gonna complete every task. You feel me? So we know that a woman can listen because she do it in different environments. Now it's time to do it for your husband. You see what I'm saying? Any more on that? Drop that. Let me get 1 Samuel 12 and 15. You read it when you get it.
1 Samuel chapter 12, verse 15. But if ye will not obey the voice of the Most High, but rebel against the commandments of the Most High, then shall the hand of the Most High be against you, as it was against your fathers.
And say, but if you will not obey the voice of the Most High, but rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall the hand of the Lord be against you, as it was against your fathers. You see what I'm saying? What this is saying is, you want to go hard and you want to do what you want to do. You want to be a rebel. You see what I'm saying? Like, you want to do those things. You want to live that lifestyle. The Lord's hand is going to be against you. You'll fail at everything that you do. You'll be lucky to live long. You see what I'm saying? When the Most High hand is against you, who can be for you? If the Most High turn his back to you and he has his hand stretched out against you, who can you call on? Who can you go to? Mommy and daddy can't save you. Your husband and your wife can't save you. Your brother or sister can't save you. You see what I'm saying? If the Most High stretches his hand out against you because of your disobedience, listen, you better get on your knees and repent ASAP. Meaning you better walk away from whatever the hell you did, because we're not playing with a God that's play and too nice. We dealing with a God that will unalive you. You see what I'm saying? For your disobedience. Keep going.
Now, therefore, stand and see this great thing, which the Most High will do before your eyes.
Yeah, now I say, now stand and see this great thing which the Lord will do before your eyes. You see what I'm saying? Like you learn to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Just watch how the Most High move in your life. See the things the Most High is going to do. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is going to do things for you that you don't even know you need done for you. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we need to be obedient. This is why we need to learn to listen and do as the Most High tell us and not what we want to do. Let me get Isaiah 14 and 1, Bubba Kasha. And 14 and 1. Isaiah 14 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
It say, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. You understand? This is the Lord said, this is the Bible saying the Most High is going to have mercy on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? And will yet choose Israel and yet chooses again, man. Because you got to remember, the Lord had to do away with us because we rebelled against him so much. But here it is, the Lord is saying that the Most High will have mercy on Jacob and you will yet choose Israel. Go ahead.
And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Here it is, and say the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. You see what I'm saying? This is talking about us owning our oppressor. You see what I'm saying? If this is talking about our oppressor going into slavery, do you know right now, you got to think about this. Right now, our oppressor cannot think about being enslaved, period. But then being enslaved to blacks and Hispanics, that's a thought that never crosses his mind. You see what I'm saying? But this shows you the power of keeping God, the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Because when we learn to do what the Most High has told us to do, he will yet choose us again, and he's going to set us in our own land. And then it's going to be strangers or other nations that's going to cleave unto us. You see what I'm saying? And the scriptures say, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Keep going, Bubba, because verse 2.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Here it is. It say the house of Israel shall possess them. You see what I'm saying? For us to possess them mean we own them. It say for servants and handmaids. Who knows what a servant and a handmaid is? What's a servant and what's a handmaid? What it sound like? Somebody who do the work. In this context, when they say you will possess them as servants and as handmaids, what's another word for it? Hey, peasants. What's another word for peasant? Driver. See, our kids are still nice. You see what I'm saying? Our kids are still nice. When you hear servants and handmaids, that's talking about slaves. You see what I'm saying? These other nations that's joined to us, they're going to go into slavery, and we're going to possess them. That means that you are going to own people the same way we were owned. The same way they owned us, we're going to own them. Keep going. No, you start from down where you was at.
And
they shall
take them captives.
They shall take them captives. When they say they shall take them captives, what is a captive? What's a captive? If someone take you captive, what are they doing? Not necessarily kidnapping, but if they take you captive, it's a prisoner. The captive is a prisoner. Keep going. Read the scripture.
Who's captive? Who captive the work? And they shall take them captive. Who captive they were?
Haven't we been prisoners to them? Haven't we been prisoners to our oppressor? Haven't we been captives to our oppressor? The scripture said we're going to take them captives. Who captives we were? Keep going.
And they shall rule over their oppressor.
And they shall rule over their oppressor. The only way that this can happen is if we get the wisdom that comes from serving the God of this Bible. And that's by keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? Us taking them captives as we are captives, that's not gonna happen when we go just by going to college. That's not gonna happen by us getting an education here and having letters behind your name. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna happen by us keeping these law, statutes, and commandments and allowing the Lord to be on our side now. That way we're fighting with the Lord instead of fighting against him. You see what I'm saying? The law is so important because the wisdom that it brings, it separates us from these other nations. It separates us from other people. You see what I'm saying? It allows us to keep our culture, it allows us to keep our identity, and it allows us to keep our moral compass in the midst of anything that's going on the face of this earth. You feel me? And if we could come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments and having the wisdom to do so, what'll happen is the tide of this entire society will change. You feel me? And like we just read, the people who had us captives, we're going to have them captives. And they're going to work, and they're going to work for free. And they better work hard. You see what I'm saying? Or else. You see what I'm saying? That's the wisdom. That's the respect. How we read in the early part of the class, where it said, this is your wisdom and your understanding. That's the understanding you need to know. That when we become wise, the Lord will put us on top of every nation on the face of this earth. And that comes with keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. And with that, We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yohana. If it's not under Command of General Yohana, it is not the truth. We've been bringing this out since 1969, that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true come on inside, are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speak of. And at this time, we're going to call upon Officer Ramak for a reading of the security announcement. Shalom, Baltimore. Stand up.
This is security announcements. We are the Isupk out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak with a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months, 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 through 10, chapters 8 through 10, which means 10th in Hebrew, and is pronounced Ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase that the Lord gives you, you should give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. June 8th, the Feast of First Fruits. Reminder: every Akim, to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for other Isupk events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, and headbands or scarf. And with that, we give a courtesy salute to the teachers, men of Israel, Amadi and Sabat, Amadi, Barak, Amadi, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatham, Yazi Matai, Saul, which means turn, face sister, men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat, Amadi, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Yazi Matai, class dismissed.